Hari Om and welcome. Next mantra in our Yoga Chudamani Upanishad is 39, Rising of Kundalini. We're in a very specific point now of your practice. Suchevat gatramadaya vrayat yordvam sushumnaya udgatayet kavatam tu yatta kunchikaya griham kundalinya tatha yogi moksha dvaram prabedayet. In translation is, when awakened, she goes straight up through Sushumna passage, having a body like a needle. Just as the key opens the closed doors of a house, similarly the yogi opens the door of liberation through the awakening of Kundalini. So that's basically your key, the awakening of Kundalini. No matter you are going to do Kundalini yoga practices, just normal yoga practices, you're all going to go like that. So you're going to have to pass the point when Kundalini will arise. Commentary. When Kundalini Shakti awakens, the ascent of Sushumna passage like a sharp needle, piercing all the psychic centers in turns. And it means psychic centers, your chakras, on the way. The needle is a long, thin instrument which easily pierces through material. Similarly, the Kundalini easily pierces through the different layers of maternal evolution. As Kundalini ascends, the consciousness is gradually freed from the bondage of the elements, the gunas in Prakriti, and attain purity. This purity or refinement enables one to experience the transcendental reality, which is also known as moksha or liberation. And here, moksha, liberation, probably it's not some people confused nirvana. So nirvana probably will be in the sense it's your when you meditate, you fall into this state when you kind of dissolved and you slightly touch the samadhi, one of the levels, first levels of samadhi. Moksha, liberation, this is it. This is when your Kundalini arrives through everything and it's released all your samskaras, or it's opened or pierced all your psychic centers throughout, and you are freed now on. So I think if your Kundalini rises up, it's kind of like the no return point at this stage. So here just directly explain you what's happened when Kundalini rises up, and then the awakening of Kundalini is furthermore said to be the yogic key to the door of higher consciousness. That's what the mantra told us. Is in mundane life, this door remains locked and no one gains access to the inner chambers. However, with the key of Kundalini, the yogi is able to unlock the door and behold the infinite mansions of the mind. As such, the awakening of Kundalini is a turning point in one's life, when one departs from the lower manifest dimensions to the unmanifest or absolute dimension of reality. Regarding this event, Swami Satyananda Saraswati has said, in evolution, there have been definite demarcations when life developed from mineral to vegetable, from vegetable to animal, from animal to human. Now man lives in the lower mind through logic. Awakening of Kundalini marks the departure from logic into the dimension of intuition and spiritual vision, where the ordinary mind becomes the supermind. We develop from mineral form into the vegetable, basically plants, and from plants we evolve. Next stage of evolution will be our animal state, and then in the animal state you have all the stages of evolution when you finally come to this world through Muladhara as the human being. But you might stay with this very low, just a logic type of thinking, living, and unfortunately majority of people right now on the planet live like that, and throughout the history. And that's not because we are not good enough or punished or anything like that. It's because that's just a stage of evolution, that's the purpose. So we come here with a lower developed mind. Some people more, some less. And when I say that, it doesn't mean like, the people say we use only 4% or 10% of our mind, the rest is resting. So it's kind of like that. But it's not just like that we don't use actually the parts of the brain for thinking. No, we do think and we do logics that have been taught, like we have perspective according to our vision, ears, whatever we receive throughout our life, whatever been spoken, whatever We tangibly understand and smell. All these, senses give us information. So we're kind of bound by that, but we're also bound by what we understand the world is, what we've been taught from the childhood. So it depends which society you're grown up, family, and so on, how free were you to experience things, or if you, for example, have some experiences, especially when you're a child. I say that many times we experience all this when we're children, still having this curtain of what is good, what is bad, what is supposed to be, what is not. We're more free to explore. And often the surroundings, people who surround us, they can kind of tell us, oh no, that's wrong, well, don't say nonsense, or that's not, can't happen. You could not see the color of people, or you cannot see the color of music, this kind of stuff. And we stop doing this. We're thinking, oh, it must be my imagination, or I'm doing something wrong, because we're children, children tend to listen adults. But in a sense, then we're grown up, we're kind of forgetting about this. It's easier for us to live in this. And all these extraordinary abilities which come from the mind, we can extra use our mind, they become duller, and then they might disappear. And opposite, some people can start having these things, seeing things, hearing things, which not supposed to exist, from some experiences, like dramatic experience in the life, fall or something like that, something happened with the body, and they open up a little bit different, so there's actually other doors, other chambers which we don't have access to. Very easy and controlled way, and a smart way to do and experience this, it's to do yoga practice, and all these things become kind of normal for you, so you will not be surprised that you smell something which is not present, or you can telecommunicate with somebody, or you can in a dream do some things which will have effect on in reality, and so on. So I'm not saying all this voodoo nonsense. If we cannot experience something, doesn't mean it's not exist. For example, if we just rely on our vision, and the vision for some people even not so good at all, but even though if the person have a perfect vision, but it's just a visible light that we can see, and we're not so good to see in the dark, not all of us. We cannot see ultraviolet, we cannot see different wavelengths, we cannot see other spectrum of the sun. When, for example, some animals we know, or I don't know about plants, some bacteria, they do see these things, and sometimes they kind of direct the life around this, like wolf, the hearing possibilities of the wolf is much more supreme than the human being, Similar with your brain. So if something you don't have access to, doesn't mean it's not existing, it's voodoo, it's extra abilities, something wrong with you, you are a cult person if you believe in this kind of stuff. No. And same with children. Children do see more things, or experience more things that we do differently. Our task, I believe, as adults, to do not limit them and do not scare them, and give them explanation, very reasonable explanation for whatever they experience. Say, yes, okay, if you experience this, that's normal. Just explore, find out how you do this, see what it shows you. If others don't experience this, it doesn't mean they're better or worse than you. All this general sense, but in the same time, not discourage them from exploring the world with what they can. Otherwise, they can diminish these things, and eventually through the life, it might cause more psychological problem for them in society. And so that's kind of my point of view. And we all experience this. We've all been children when we had something, maybe extra abilities, siddhis, as I say, and we've been told off or not taken seriously. They say this person start having super mind, and it's also that when you start reading, we read in Pranayama, or if you read a very good book about Yoga Nidra, they talk about a lot about this different aspects of your mind. So when we do Yoga Nidra practice, I take you through the body every time before we're trying to lower down into the deeper relaxation. So we're basically kind of stepping through this, releasing the body through the body. So we're kind of having a pass through the bodies. In the first body, we're trying to let it go. It's the physical body. We lie down, we close our eyes, switching awareness from the physical being into the prana body, then we step mana body, prana body, and we go to Vignaya body. So you kind of like stepping deeper and deeper. And one of the practices is when you naming all the parts of the body. So you go in a particular sequence through everything, every toes, ankle, knee, hip, I do this a lot in my practice. And in particular, it's actually what you're going through. You're just switching the parts of the brain. So there's actually all these parts of the body, they mapped in our brain. There's somewhere even a picture how all our body like lying down in your brain. It's not unknown in biology or human anatomy science. So when we're going in the sequence, we're switching it, step by step. When you awaken in yourself as well, all the chakras, they all, as I said before, represent in our mind. And when we're working with each of them and kind of opening up, or Kundalini, opening up, clear it up from some samskaras, blockages in our channels and energy flowing through, you activating that part of the brain for in particular chakra, and you're getting those siddhis, abilities. Because the H chakra represented has like a petals, a lotus with the petals, you can say, or it's like a vortex with the energy flows, and each of them is those particular properties, qualities, which you kind of gain and then let it go while you're moving through that. So that's as well what Satyananda basically described in this passage. It is turning point, Kundalini awakening in one's life, and after that, it's, as I said, it's kind of like counted to be no return. So if you will have that, you will for sure know this is